anyone who is watching this, welcome to KamenRider BlackMan. And Coda, alright, is this something that you want? We will go out in a sec. Alright. Sorry for a second, I was just talking to my dog. Say hello, Coda. Hey, try looking into the camera. Hey, shuttle. Anyway, today I thought I'd just take a moment to talk about something that just hit my mind yesterday, and something that's been quite a thing in KamenRider for the longest time now, and I wish that they did this a bit better. Today I'm going to be talking about two-parter episodes and how they're very meh, and how they're very handled, and delivered. So, I'm just going to talk about the issues that I find in them, or I guess the constant issues that are in them, that are just a bit no, in my opinion, really. So, I'll start off with two-parter episodes. Waiting a whole week for the payoff. Of course, that's always the first thing with two-parter episodes. You have to wait a whole week for payoff. But when every episode's a two-parter episode, it's like when every episode's a two-parter episode, it's like that payoff could fall flat or well received in some cases, more so or not, because with any two-part episode, anyone could wait for the payoff, but with how the episode is, because most two-parters overall are filler, and with any type of filler episode, you always just get that temporary resolve for said episode, and that would just be it for that. Okay, the second thing I'm going to get into is the biggest reason that I have to dislike two-parters. Convoluted reasons for the monster to escape, because it could be the end of any first part of an episode where the protagonist is about to defeat the monster, period, and then something's in the way to delay doing the finisher, or something just happens that just makes the monster escapes for next time. That is so stressful to see, because good gracious, that's just so it makes you want it could make a person mad, because it's happened so many times before, and they always, half the time, out of most out of half the time, there's no reason as to why the attack is delayed and the monster escapes. Half the time there's always no reason as to why, and other times they try to make an excuse, but that's the point. We're closing up but that's the point. We're closing up something, and you just stopped it to go on to the next episode, and it's completely unnecessary, and there's not even going to be nothing important will come out of it, basically. So that's sort of my point there. So now, my third thing about two-parters. Two-parters are usually, or used to, however you see it, are something that are important for the plot. It's usually with some two-parters, they advance the story more to take things to the next level. That's the whole reason for two-parters. You have them to advance your story more, to create more development, maybe to create more development for your characters, for your show, for your story, all that jazz. That's the real reason for two-parters. And you can have a regular two-parter that acts like a filler, but it's all an occasion when you have it, because you can either have it as something for now that'll pay off later, or just have it as like a short, small thing just for amusement. But when it's every episode, it doesn't have that effect because it's not important. It's just something that's happening. Like, oh, this happened. Boom. To be continued. Next episode. Hey, resolved. Fine, right? Yeah, but there's really no effect there. Now, what's the third thing I had on my mind? I know it was something. Let me think. Oh, yeah. I now remember the next thing I was going to say. Victims of the Week. Victims of the Week are something that's been happening for years in KamenRider. Like, it started in Den-O all the way up until Wizard, then came back to it in Drive, then in Xade, and now on to ZO. But the thing there is with Victims of the Week, it works on certain occasions, but which does lead back to my reason for two-parters. If it's on occasion, then sure, that's fine. But when it's every episode, like, it can be a bit headbanging. Not to say that the usual filler episodes are bad, because they aren't, but when it's always two-parters, even you can't sit there and say, really? But with Victims of the Week in two-parters, something always needs to be more important than the something always needs to be more important in the development that takes the first half, and then the next half is the development. Mind you, here's a good example right now. Like Xade, KamenRider Xade, it was able to balance its focus on the Victims of the Week and its development and make them all one episode. And they don't stretch, and they don't make them two-parters. That was brilliant. And the only time there ever was a two-parter was on a special occasion of story development. That works so much better than two-parter every episode, because it's not annoying, or you don't look at it as like a bad habit in the story. Because for something like that, if it's a bad habit in story, then you'd end up blaming a character. And so, yeah. And, like, you can do a Victims of the Week show, and you can really do something with the structure of it, but when it's, like, two-parters every time, even the viewer can sit there and question it, because you've done Victims of the Week episodes before in, like, one episode, literally with Xade, and also Build, but that's a totally different thing. But yeah, keep thinking I'm forgetting one more thing about this that I was going to get into, so I'm going to look into that for a second, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, looks like that's everything I was going to get on about two-parter episodes. I don't particularly hate them, but if they're done on occasion, that would make things a lot better, and if they were just, I don't know, cut back to like on occasion and not just every episode, that would seem at least a step better, because there have been some episodes of KamenRider where Victims of the Week episodes have been one episode, not just in Exit and Bill, but in other shows as well. I feel like talking about this right now has been a bit interesting because this was just an idea off my head, and I want to know what you guys think about this criticism and if it's good or not. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I'm about to take my dog Coda outside. Hey Coda, say hello to the camera. Alright. And now he's going to help me close out today's episode of KamenRider BlackMan. See you guys next time. Alright, bye everyone. Alright, good boy, Coda. And now, cut.